You're listening to Journey for Truth with internationally known medium, Tai Yi practitioner, and radio host Tammy Urbanic.
Hello and welcome to Journey for Truth on Spreaker.com and on YouTube. Journey for Truth Radio is always on demand and with many new episodes. I am Tammy Urbanic. Thank you so much for joining me. You can take a moment and visit my website at empowermentthroughhealing.org. Read all about Tai Yi and all of the work that I do. My guest this week is Hossca Harrison. Hossca will speak with us about what love is and what it isn't, how people misinterpret love, and then end up missing opportunities along the way to really experience true and real love. Hossca, welcome.
Thank you. It's great to be on your show again, Tammy.
You know, many people say that they want love, but they're actually afraid to love. Why is that?
You know, I find that the people who are afraid to love actually are afraid of being loved. And certainly when they carry that fear of being loved, they push away love. So they end up being in one relationship after another that leads to a lot of pain and trauma. But, you know, it also applies to parents with their children. If somebody has had that issue of a fear of being loved, that's what they're going to project to their children. Their children are going to feel, you know, mom and dad, they don't love me. No one loves me. So then they go out trying to find love somewhere else and often, you know, create much pain in their life.
Now, how would a person know if they're afraid to love? Because as I said, they say they want love, but that fear is there. And a lot of people say, well, I'm not afraid of love. I just can't find someone to love me. So how would someone know if there is, in fact, that fear?
Common denominator of people in that category, you know, if they're afraid of love, they run away. What people are afraid of, for the most part, they run away. And so you have many relationships, specifically among men. And look how many men run away from their relationship. A fear of making a commitment is running away as well. And so you have many different relationships where somebody has just up and left. And they do that with their children as well. Look how many children are being raised by one or no parents, simply because one or both of the parents ran away.
Well, how does the media and society confuse sex and the perception of love?
You know, the message, the intensive seminar that Jonah will be doing is learning to love without pain. And sex and love are very two different energies, but with the media, Hollywood, the movies, the love stories and the books that you read often equate the two as one. You know, if you're in love, you have wonderful sex. If you're not in love, you don't have wonderful sex. People don't understand the energy of sex. That is an exchange of energy, whatever energy is present at the time. But, you know, that's a very simple answer. Jonah's going to spend hours in this seminar, a 2.5-day seminar, talking about sex, talking about love, what it is not, and how the two are very different, but how the two are very intricate parts of the whole that need to be brought together to be more fully understood.
Now, how, or rather, what would be a more correct definition of love?
If you were to give a definition of love in terms of all different forms of love, whether it's a love for brother and sister, whether it's a love for humanity, whether it's a love to a mate, a parent, a child, the one word that would describe the definition of love and all of those aspects of love is service.
Oh.
Without service, there cannot be true love. People usually have this attitude of love, what can I get out of it? What are you going to give me? You know, they're not in service to the relationship. They're not in service to their children, their siblings, their parents, their community, whatever it might be. Service is the one singular word that would define love in all aspects of love.
Now that is very interesting. And is Jonah going to be talking more about service?
Yes, everything I'm talking about is just a very brief synopsis of what Jonah is going to be covering in 2.5 days on this subject.
Now, for those who attend the intensive, how might the participants learn to love without pain?
The simplest answer to love without expectation, meaning people will say, okay, I'm willing to love you, but I have an expectation. I need something in return. Whenever you establish different expectations of your relationship, and again, it doesn't matter who the relationship is with, whether it's a mate, parents, children, whatever. When you carry expectations from someone else, you carry expectations from love. Those expectations are going to set you up for pain. Because as soon as you set those expectations, people are going to, that live with you or around you or who are in some form of a love relationship, if those expectations aren't met, anger is usually the result. And with anger is to what I was speaking of earlier, they want to run away.
An expectation that I see quite often is, if you love me, then you will take care of me. You will make me feel a certain way. You will do X, Y, and Z. But I've seen that as an expectation.
Exactly. And, it goes on much more than that. You can look at relationships where, okay, I will love you if you support me financially. Mm-hmm. I will love you if you buy me this house, this car, these clothes, whatever it might be. And that can come from both a male or a female. It's not limited to just females. But many males carry this energy of that expectation. Well, maybe if she shows what I expect of her or him, then perhaps I can love you. We can be friends. I can do this for you if you do this for me. That's not service. Mm-hmm. Does a relationship come down to buying something? Are you trying to buy something from a person you love? Are you trying to buy something from your children? And in return, as the children grow up, certainly they're going to have this attitude, I'll love you if you buy me something, if you give me money, if you take care of me, if you do this and this and this and this.
And that's huge. I see that quite a bit. And also what I've also been seeing is guilt. A parent placing guilt upon a grown child. You need to take care of me. You need to do these things for me because you're supposed to love me.
Yes. Well, a parent does that on a grown child, but a child will do that as well because that's what they learned. Mm-hmm. So a child will do that to the parent. Mm-hmm. If you really loved me, you would take over my car payments. You would do this, you would do that. And people get confused. Is that love? No, that has nothing to do with love. But they call it that. The word love in the English language is extremely limited. As in the Greek, there's 6 different words for different meanings of love. But in the English language, it's very, very limited. We say, I love that car. I love that meal. I love that house. I love these clothes. Oh, and by the way, I love you. Mm-hmm. So what are you saying? You love that person as much as your car? Some people do.
And also, a lot of individuals will confuse punishment with love. And I see this still a lot, that parents will tell their small children, I love you, so I'm going to punish you. I'm telling you that you're bad and wrong, and you're being punished because I care for your life, your safety, whatever. And then a person grows up thinking that if I love someone, I'm going to be punished for it.
Exactly, and that's a major issue in the world today. There's this, people misquote many different scriptures they think are in the Bible that many of them aren't even in the Bible. Spare the rod and spoil the child is one example, but that phrase isn't in the Bible. Oh. But a phrase is in the Bible about, using corporal punishment, hitting a child. Yes, that is in the Bible. That is in the Old Testament, particularly within the area of Abraham, where to please God, he had to be willing to murder his son. Now, in the Bible it says sacrifice, but it's murder. Mm-hmm. You stick a knife in your child, you kill him, that's murder. Mm-hmm. You can't get by calling it on any other word. And God wanted to have Abraham prove, how much do you love me? Murder your child. How much has that philosophy, that energy, that consciousness has invaded the consciousness of the masses of humanity, particularly Christianity. But it's not just Christianity. The Muslims, are quite strong on that issue as well. So are the Jews and the Hindus. So I'm not just saying that it's Christianity, but many of the people listening to this right now probably identify to some level or another with Christianity. But, when you hit a child and you say, I love you, this is for your own good, is BS. Mm-hmm. And as long as I live, I'll continue to call it BS, because that is what it is. Some people have told me, well, if you're not angry, it's all right to hit a child.
Right, I've heard that.
Now, I would like to know, or even perhaps, people can question this themselves, how many people get into a state where they want to hit someone and they're not angry? Mm-hmm. You're trying to put sugarcoat something here that just you can't sugarcoat. If you hit someone, you are angry. What would it be like if you walked up to someone you had an issue with, you punched them in the nose and say, but I'm not angry, it's okay. It's okay I punched them out, I wasn't angry. Give me a break, I do not agree with that thinking along those lines. But when you hit a child, what are you teaching them? You're teaching them to hit someone else. Mm-hmm. And you are also teaching a child how to be a bully. Exactly.
One of the things that my co-facilitator and I talk about in our bullying recovery project for the Universal Education Foundation is we tell them that if you were bullied as a child through punishment, and then you leave that family and you continue that self-punishment, you're telling your family that I'm going to pick up where you left off. And I think that's what a lot of kids do. They grow up and they go on to self-punish. But I like how you use the word hit, because that is exactly accurate. And I read a lot and I hear a lot that parents will say, well, it's not hitting, it's spanking. And they try to sugarcoat it by changing the words, making it okay.
But what is spanking?
To me, it's hitting. Exactly.
I'm very familiar with Christianity and the many different sects of Christianity. And my mother was very, very involved most of her life with a very fundamentalist Christian church, and they believed that you should hit your children. Mm-hmm. And they even made a paddle, a wooden board about a foot long with a handle on it, and they painted the name of the child they were going to hit on that board, and they would come and get that board and hit them. Now, some of the ministers in this church even said in church services, if your wife gets out of hand, take that board and spank her. What are we talking about here? We're talking about the dark ages that some people never grew out of.
And it does seem that people will take that interpretation of punishment, their experience of being punished, and then wrap it around in their interpretation of love. And that is what sounds like Jonah's going to be talking about, how to kind of separate the two.
Exactly.
Now, can you give an analogy for the difference between living without love and living with love? Just so people can get a picture.
Living without love. If you were to take a group of people living without love, and then over here put another group of people living with love, and the difference you would see between those two groups is the one living without love, they're going to be depressed. They're going to carry a lot of anxiety, and they're going to carry a lot of fear. And the fear that they carry is about not experimenting, not exploring life. They want to live life by all of the rules. And if they follow all of the rules, then they will be accepted. Those are the people that are depressed, they're angry, they're fearful, and they go around in these circles in life. It's just, a constant circle. They don't go anywhere. They just spend their time going in a circle. Then you have this group over here that does love. And these are the people you find that are very creative. They can be very creative in writing. They can be very creative in writing poems, creating something, whatever that is. That's just, a couple of examples. But these people are also happy. They don't go around looking for something to make them happy, because nothing can make you happy. If somebody were given a load of money, thinking, if I had all this money, I would just be happy. No, they're not happy. Usually those people will just blow through the money, and it's gone, and the same issues are still there. But the people that do accept love, they're content with life. They like to explore life. They like to try new things out in life. These are the people who can invent things. They have that ability to look at all sides of an issue. Those are the people that love. Now, that doesn't mean that the people that don't accept love don't invent things. Often they do. But if you look at what they invent, the ones without love, usually it turns out to be a harmful invention.
Definitely, everything that you're stating makes it very attractive to attend this coming intensive, which you're going to get into detail later about the exact location, the timing, so that you can make arrangements. Do you have some insights, before we get to that, do you have some insights into what Jonah might be offering at the intensive that will be like a key opening a locked door?
A question to think about in regards to the message Jonah is going to deliver. Look for what you threw away in life, because it will return. Now, to expand on that, how many people threw away certain opportunities in life, and perhaps they went through life fully regretting it, or they, different things that were presented in their earlier years, and they didn't realize what was being presented, so they threw it away. They ignored it. What we throw away, it will return. But if you're in a state of depression, fear, anger, anxiety, those energies that most people are in, they miss it. When it returns, they miss it again and again and again. But opportunities, for the most part, sometimes there are certain minor exceptions here of that, but for the most part, things that we throw away in life will come back as an opportunity to do something with it, to accept it, to use it. And that's going to be a key to thinking about what was that, and to kind of hold that in your thoughts throughout this seminar weekend. As Jonah is describing many different issues, but not just issues, he's going to describe solutions in which to heal these issues.
Now, regarding love specifically, what message do you want to leave with the listeners?
Love is a very personal energy. It's a very private energy. Mm-hmm. It is learning to open yourself to moving beyond the programs that we have been taught of what love is and is not. And therein can lie the difficulty in learning. Love in itself is a very personal, private energy. People hold it very close to themselves, and so they don't like to quite open it up because people don't want to think about, well, that makes me look bad, or I must be a bad person because of that. It's not about being a bad person, it's about changing. Mm-hmm. And because love is a very personal energy, you need to open up your personal heart to be able to receive this message and to use it as a tool for healing.
Perfect.
And learning to love without pain.
Now, where and when will the intensive take place?
It's going to be February 5th, 6th, and 7th. It's a Friday evening, all day Saturday, all day Sunday, at the Doubletree by Hilton on Quebec Street in Denver. And you can go to my website for more information on that, which is www.jonahlifestore.com.
Now, you very generously offer a discount if people sign up by a certain date. What is that date?
Yes. People that sign up and pay in full for the intensive by January 27th, the cost for the entire weekend is $340. After that date, you can come and you can actually pay online after that date, or you can pay at the door. And the regular price for this seminar is $400 after that date. And or if you want to mail a check in, it has to be postmarked by January 27th. Or you can go to our website up to 10 p.m. On January 27th and sign up, and then the computer automatically changes it to $400 at 10 p.m.
Well, excellent. So $340 until the evening on January 27th, and then people can still sign up afterwards. They're just going to pay the regular rate. Excellent. You gave your website. People can go there. They can read more about the intensive. They can sign up there. Very easy, very simple. Thank you, Hossca, so much for being a guest on my show today.
Well, thank you, Tammy. It's great being here again.
And thank you, listeners, for joining me here as well on Journey for Truth on Spreaker.com and on YouTube. Until next time, have a fantastic week.